Hi, everybody. Welcome to Studio Classroom Worldwide. My name is Steve. Thanks for joining us today. These past 2 days, we've been talking about gift giving, always an appropriate topic during the Christmas season. Well, it was over 2,000 years ago that God himself set the gift-giving precedent by sending down from heaven the person of Jesus Christ. Now, as our author said yesterday, for us to truly appreciate a gift, we need to experience the need it was meant to fill. That would mean, then, that to truly appreciate Christmas, we need to understand our need for Jesus. Let's talk about some of the needs Jesus meets in today's reading when the gift meets the need on page 44.
When the gift meets the need. It's not like we don't know we have needs. We know them all right. Patience, love, self-control, strength, courage, faithfulness, forgiveness. It's just that we have become experts at numbing ourselves to our needs. We mute them by shopping, eating, and never-ending activities. The true gift of the season is a perfect fit for our every need. The lasting gift of Christmas is that God took on flesh and bones and was born of a virgin in a stable amid sheep and cattle and straw.
Hello, friends. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. My name is Kayla.
My name is Ryan, and of course, many of you are probably enjoying your new gifts today.
Ooh, how exciting. Did your gift meet a need?
Well, that is what this article has been talking about for the last couple days. We saw a story that the author was telling about what her children received for Christmas one year.
That's right. Her parents gave them a brown paper bag with food in it, but the kids did not actually appreciate it. They had no context for the story. But I think she's using it as an example, Ryan, for a gift maybe we don't have context for and we don't appreciate.
Yes, and that gift is talking about the true gift of Christmas, the birth of Jesus Christ.
So, since we don't understand the need that this is filling, we don't appreciate it. We put it at the back of this fridge and we just have no context for it. Ryan, does that mean then that since we don't know the need it's filling, does that mean we just don't have any needs?
Oh, well, that's not true at all. In fact, the author agrees. She says, it's not like we don't know that we have needs. We do know we have needs.
That's right. She's saying we have needs, and we know that we have them. But, do we know what they all are or how to fill them?
Well, she says, we know them all right. Now, here she put in the phrase, all right, which kind of means definitely. We definitely know them.
That's right. It's more casual to say, you know this, all right? It's emphasizing that you might want to not know it or might want to ignore it, but you cannot deny the fact that our needs come down to basics like patience.
Yes, we definitely know these needs well, like patience, which means you are willing to wait, love, which means you truly care about other people, and self-control.
As well as strength, courage, faithfulness, forgiveness. These are all things we need. Ryan, you've broken most of these apart for us, but there's a couple more. Self-control means you are not always wanting and going and getting. You are controlling your desires and your needs.
Exactly. You are making sure that you are under control. Now, strength doesn't mean how much muscle you have. It's strength of will, strength of your mind.
And courage is your ability to get out and do something that maybe you're a little afraid of, but to stand up for what is true. as well as faithfulness.
Which means you are willing to commit, willing to promise to continue serving other people.
And of course, forgiveness, which is hard for everyone to give, but it's so important. Forgiveness means when someone has done wrong to you, you can move past it. And even if it hurts, you're willing to move on and not get angry or bitter towards them.
Yes. Now, we as people all know that these are very important needs.
It's just that we have become experts at numbing ourselves to our needs.
Okay, well, that's really sad. If you numb yourself to something, that means you can't feel it anymore.
Usually you think of this as being cold. If something is extremely cold, you can't feel it. But this is numbing us, numbing our emotions, meaning we don't have these emotions anymore. We don't let ourselves need these things, which means we don't appreciate the gift of Christmas.
Well, how does this actually happen, Kayla? How can we lose the emotions for these needs?
Well, we mute them out by shopping, eating, and never-ending activities.
Think, friends, how many activities did you have this Christmas? How much shopping did you do?
And you can mute them out by this. Now, to mute something means to turn the noise off, to create silence. And in this context, it's referring to we have this need. When you have a need, you can tell it. But instead of listening to the need, you turn it off. You don't listen to it. You make it silent.
Okay, so through all of these activities and all the food that we eat, we are turning off our emotions to those needs. We're forgetting about them.
And then the true gift of the season, you know, it really is a perfect fit for our every need. But since we don't recognize our needs, we don't take this gift.
Exactly. Now, we already know what the true gift of Christmas is. And it is the perfect fit for our needs.
That's right. Now, a perfect fit means it takes care of it just the exact way you need it to. It's exactly what you need.
Exactly. The lasting gift of Christmas is that God took on flesh and bones and was born of a virgin in a stable amid sheep and cattle and straw.
Now, this is, of course, the Christmas story. Now, to take on flesh and bones means that God went from being supernatural to being a human. And a human is made of flesh, which is your skin and meat, and bones. And he became human by the birth of a virgin.
Exactly. Now, the virgin is someone who has never had sex. And so you think, well, that would be difficult for someone to have a baby as a virgin.
That's right. It's impossible to have a baby if you've never had sex. But this is the story of Christmas. And of course, this is the gift of God. And so God can do anything.
Exactly. And so the flesh and bones was Jesus. Jesus was born of the Virgin Mary amid sheep and cattle and straw.
And that's right. It was in a stable, which is kind of like a barn. And to be amid something means in the middle of or surrounded by sheep, cattle, and straw.
Okay, cattle, of course, is cows, and straw is the food that they eat.
Now, we're going to talk more about this true gift of Christmas and the birth of Jesus after we visit the chat room.
Hi, Ken. Hey, thanks for this shirt you gave me for Christmas. As you can see, I'm wearing it today.
You're welcome. I'm glad it fits. I wasn't sure what size to get you.
Well, as you can see, it fits well. It's also a good fit because I had been thinking I needed more shirts this color.
Well, I'm glad you like it, Brian. Hey, did you use fit as both a verb and a noun just now?
Yes, I did. And by the way, fit can also be an adjective. For example, I could say that the water in a certain area is fit to drink. And I think that right now is a fit time to give you an English lesson.
I think so too. So could I say that that is a fit shirt for you?
No, we couldn't say that. When we use fit as an adjective, we usually mean that something is suitable for a certain purpose. We don't use fit as an adjective to talk about size.
Oh, so does the noun form of fit talk about size?
Sometimes. You might say that a piece of clothing has a loose fit or a comfortable fit. Or the noun fit can refer to the way that two things fit together. So I could say something like, Bill's job is a good fit for him.
I noticed that the noun fit usually has an adjective before it. Is that right?
Yes, that is true most of the time.
Well, I'm glad to see the shirt fits.
Oh, yes, it does. Thanks again.
很简单的一个字 fit， 它可以当名词、动词或形容词。fit 可以广义的指适合的，比如说 a good fit 就是很适合的一样东西。Bill's job is a good fit for him. Bill 的工作很适合他，或是 the water in the creek is fit to drink. 小溪里的水适合饮用。今天的课文讲到 the true gift of the season is a perfect fit for our every need. 这个季节的真正礼物最能 fit 满足我们所有的需求。fit 也可以指合身的。This coat fits perfectly. 这件风衣很合身。That coat has a loose fit. 那件风衣有点宽松。要注意 fit 当形容词就不能够表示合身的。我们不能说 that is a fit shirt for you. 我们只能说 that shirt fits you 或是 that shirt is a good fit. 好，我们下次图书馆见。
Welcome back, everybody. Friends, let me remind you quickly about a fairly new video feature called Quick Bites. On our Studio Classroom website, you'll find 2 short videos for each lesson. One gives a quick summary, and the other some extra information related to the article. Again, they're quick and they're easy to digest, hence the name Quick Bites. Okay, let's wrap up reading the lesson When the Gift Meets the Need, down on line 12.
When the gift meets the need. The divine descended to earth. The invisible became visible. Angels lit up the skies over Bethlehem. Rugged shepherds shook with terror, and the Magi changed course to follow the star. No video game can compete with that drama. No holiday table setting can hold a fraction of that dazzle. When a gift like apples and oranges fits a need, there is a cheerful contentment. When the gift of the manger fits a need, there is the joy of Christmas.
Friends, we are discussing the true gift of Christmas, Jesus Christ, and how He fills all of our needs.
It says our next sentence telling us the story of Christmas is the divine descended to earth. This is complicated. Let's look at this term, the divine, as a proper noun.
Okay, as a proper noun, the divine is referring to God. But what about just the noun divine?
Okay, just the noun divine, if we do not capitalize it, it means something that is supernatural.
Exactly. It's actually, I think it's an adjective. Something that is divine is an adjective, and it is supernatural, which means it is beyond nature. It is like God.
Okay, so the capital D makes it Jesus, and then we know He descended to earth. Well, where does God live? God lives in heaven, so you have to descend.
Exactly. When you descend, that means you move downward. So if heaven is above, or in this case better than earth, then He descended or moved down to earth.
That's right. He came down, and the invisible became visible. Now, invisible means you cannot see it. Therefore, visible means you can see it. So what does this sentence mean?
Well, this says the invisible, and it doesn't give us a noun, right? It just says the invisible.
Okay, well, here it's really a very artistic way of saying that Jesus, who is God, and you really can't see God, becomes visible by becoming a human. So we're saying He just went from being a supernatural being to being human. It's kind of the same thing.
Exactly. God was invisible, and He became visible. He became human.
Well, also part of the story was angels. Angels lit up the skies over Bethlehem. And angels are supernatural beings that live in heaven.
Exactly. And if you light up something, that means that you create a lot of light, but it can also be a lot of activity and energy.
Now, if an angel lit up the sky, you'd probably do what these rugged shepherds did and they shook with terror.
All right, these shepherds were rugged. Something that is rugged as a person means that they lived in the wilderness and they understand how to fight for themselves.
But even if they're fighting for themselves, if you saw the whole heavens light up, you'd probably shake with terror. What does that mean?
If someone, well, first of all, the word terror means you are extremely afraid. And so if you shake with terror, that means you're so afraid that your body is actually shaking.
Well, that's true. It was incredible, though. But the shepherds aren't the only part. There's the Magi. The Magi changed course to follow the star.
Okay, now, we remember from the Bible story there is a star in the heavens that guided the Magi.
And the Magi is a group of men, usually thought to be 3 men, who came to give gifts to Jesus. And they are thought to be wise men who are really well educated, or even possibly kings.
Okay, so oftentimes we refer to these people as the 3 wise men. Now, we're not really sure if it was exactly 3 or more. There is a lot of discussion on that, but we simply call them the Magi.
That's right. So they changed their course, which means they changed the direction they were going in order to follow the star to find the baby.
Now, this is a lot of drama that happens in this story, and really, no video game can compete with that drama.
That's right. No video game is that impressive. It's incredible. But no holiday table setting can hold a fraction of that dazzle.
Oh, now this is a descriptive sentence. A holiday setting on a table is referring to the decorations and the beauty of Christmas.
That's right. We set the table really pretty on Christmas for dinner. So it's beautiful, but it can't even hold a fraction of that dazzle, even hold a small piece of that dazzle.
All right, now dazzle means that something is very exciting. It holds your attention, and it's often extremely beautiful.
Now, a holiday table is extremely beautiful and extremely exciting because you know the food's going to be delicious. But even that table can't hold a small piece of how amazing the true story of Christmas is.
Right, even all the decorations and the presents of Christmas are not as even close to as exciting as the drama of the story of Jesus.
Now we're referencing back to the story of the paper bags. We say when a gift like apples and oranges fits a need, there's a cheerful contentment. Now, we said fits the need because these kids, remember in the Depression, didn't get food and candy, fresh fruit and candy, so it fit a need.
Exactly, and when it does, then there is cheerful contentment. Contentment means that you are happy with what you have and you don't want more.
That's right. So when this fits the need, it's cheerful, it's happy, filled need. And when the gift of the manger fits a need, there is the joy of Christmas.
Okay, so we're comparing these. If you have cheerful and happy contentment because of apples and oranges, then when you look at the gift of the manger, there's a lot of joy.
And the manger is where Jesus was laid to sleep as a baby. So the story of Christmas. Now, Ryan, we've talked a lot about gifts over the last couple of days, and Christmas is definitely the time of the year to give gifts. So I thought holding with this article, I would get you a gift as well. And I have it right here in the studio. I put it in a brown paper bag, just like our story.
Oh, thank you. And it's oranges. Oh, thank you, Kayla. Actually, I got you a gift, too. It's just a normal gift, though. It's not a paper bag.
This box is so shiny. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I hope my gift fits a need for you.
It does. Thank you. Thank you. Friends, we hope you've enjoyed this holiday season. We'll see you eventually later, but for now, let's watch this skit.
You know what?
What?
I'm missing our brown bags from Grandma and Grandpa.
You mean the ones we left in the back of the refrigerator?
Yeah, we didn't appreciate those gifts. I feel bad about that.
Me too. We should appreciate the gifts others give us.
Yeah, Christmas is more than just special, expensive gifts.
Yeah, we should especially appreciate the gift God gave us.
Yeah, that's the real meaning of Christmas. It's the true gift of the season.
It's a perfect gift that fits all our needs.
Yeah, Like patience and love and self-control and
Strength and courage, faithfulness.
Yeah.
Oh, and forgiveness.
forgiveness is important. Forgiveness is the real gift of Christmas. Remember what the Bible says? John 3:16.
I forgot.
For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son.
Oh, yeah, that whoever believes in him will not die, but have everlasting life.
That's right. God's Son. That's the real gift of Christmas.
Right, and it's better than videos and dramas.
Better than holiday table settings and food.
Yeah, and better than apples and oranges.
Yeah, those other things are just a fraction of the dazzle.
Celebrating Jesus is the joy of Christmas.
Yeah! Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas.
Hi everyone, I'm Michelle. 今天的重点我们来看的是 num 这个动词。注意这个字结尾的 b 是不发音的，念成 num。num 当形容词是指麻木的，但是在这里是当动词，意思是指使麻木或者是使失去知觉。例如 The low outdoor temperature soon numbed my face. 户外的低温很快的就让我的脸失去了感觉。或者是 She was numbed by the tragic news and couldn't speak for days. 她被这个不幸的消息震折，以至于失去了感觉，几天都没有办法说话。继续我们看的是 divine 这个形容词。divine 是指神圣的或者是神的。课文中提到的定冠词 the divine 意思是指那位神圣的，也就是指耶稣的意思。我们来看一个例句。The composer claimed he wrote the symphony through divine inspiration. 这位作曲家说他是透过上天所赐的灵感而创作了这首交响乐。Divine 也指非凡的，例如 The singer's voice sounds divine. 这位歌手的声音听起来绝妙非凡。所以我们看的是 dazzle 这个动词。dazzle 当动词是指使目眩或者是使眼花。如果当名词的话是指耀眼的光。例如 The dazzle of the spotlight blinded me for a few seconds. 聚光灯耀眼的光让我几秒钟看不见东西。或者是 The dazzle of the diamond ring captured our eyes. 钻石戒指的耀眼光芒吸引了我们的目光。And that's it for today's language tips. Goodbye and take care.
Thank you, Michelle. We appreciate that. Now, this month's Christmas feature opened with a story of how a family Christmas tradition began. However, that fun tradition of giving a bag of fruit, nuts, and chocolates for Christmas was never fully appreciated by the grandkids because they never experienced the need the gift was meant to fill. Our author then applied this lesson to the Christmas gift of Jesus, when God sent the divine to earth to meet our need of love, hope, peace, and so much more. Friends, please make the rest of your Wednesday great, and then join us tomorrow for a new lesson right here at Studio Classroom. Take care.
So friends, be sure to listen, tune in, never miss a lesson. Give it a try. Studio Classroom Worldwide. At Studio Classroom, you'll find a way to broaden your mind. This class is perfect for me and my vocabulary. Make a friend for life. Make us your friend for life. At Studio Classroom Worldwide. Your friend for life. Make a friend for life. Make us your friend for life. At Studio Classroom Worldwide. Studio Classroom Worldwide.